I recently discovered a new category on CLO-SET CONNECT called Flat Patterns. These patterns are created by Minerva, a highly professional pattern maker. I was really excited to test how they work in CLO 3D. The idea is similar to working with DXF sewing pattern files. You can import them, clean them up, and then stitch them directly in the 3D window. And this is how it actually works. As digital fashion designers, we usually create the final render in two ways. 1. Direct draping on the avatar. We drape the fabric on the avatar in CLO 3D, generate the pattern from the drape, print it, and then send it to the plotter. 2. Using supplier DXF files when suppliers provide DXF sewing patterns. The digital designer is responsible for creating the first virtual sample in the 3D window. This way, we can check the garment at the exact size, review the fit, and see whether the pattern is correct or if adjustments are needed. As I mentioned earlier, you can find these patterns on the CLO-SET CONNECT website. Here's how. 1. Go to the website and click on Connect. 2. Under the category Flat Patterns, browse and add the patterns you want to your basket. 3. Once you complete the purchase, the patterns are automatically added to your library in CLO 2025 under Purchased Garments. Before starting, check the size measurements of the patterns so you can adjust your avatar to match. Okay, as you can see, I've already set my avatar to EU size 38. Now, I double-click on my purchased flat pattern to add it to the 3D window. First, if you press V to view the curve points, you'll notice that DXF files or files imported from Illustrator into CLO 3D often have a huge number of points. This can make the file very heavy and slow to work with. So, I always recommend to my students to simplify the curve points first. Don't worry if you lose some points, you can correct them later. For example, I click on the lines and use Delete All Carve Points. After that, I'll manually add more points where needed, instead of 100 points, maybe just 1 or 2. I've sped up this part of the video so you can follow along and practice cleaning the lines and segments yourself. Take your time and try it step by step. It really helps to get comfortable with the tools. Now, reposition your garment pieces in the 2D window. This makes it much easier to work with them later. You need to reposition the pattern pieces according to the grain line, which you can see indicated on each pattern. Also, check the annotations to identify which part is up or down and which is front or back. This will make it much easier to adjust the pieces on the avatar later in the 3D window. For parts that are symmetrical in the front or back, I create internal lines first and cut along them. Then, I unfold the line using the symmetric sewing option, which you can access by right-clicking on the outline segment. Now, open the 3D window. In the 3D window, reset all the pattern pieces to the 2D window, and then adjust the pieces directly on the avatar's body. Alright, once you have completed these steps, it's time to check the darts. For the darts, I always add a point between two existing points using the X shortcut. Then, with the Z shortcut, I select this point and create the dart. Tip: sometimes it's useful to archive a pattern piece temporarily. Later, once you've finished sewing the other pieces, you can simply unarchive it and continue working on it. By the way, don't forget to save your work frequently, ideally every 5 to 10 minutes, using the shortcut Ctrl+S. In the next video, we'll finish this project and take a deep dive into creating manual pleats, using the lines you see in the annotations on the pattern. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.